Hey, welcome everybody to the Machine Owner Technician Training video live feed here. I am on the road, obviously. Most of you are probably watching this recorded, which is a good thing. Remember that you can always increase the speed to 1.5 or better. I sound a lot better when I'm talking faster. Anyways, I am on the road because I am helping my daughter move. She's moving around in Orlando, so I made the trip out here to give her a hand. And since it's Memorial Day weekend, I had promised you guys I'd fit one more in here so you'd have something to watch. So what I did was I pre-recorded about a 20-minute segment here for you, talking about the Pro Stitcher and the Windows updates, all the issues with the tablets and the new release. So after we watch that, I will be watching the chat during the video, and afterwards I will take some chat questions. And for any members that might be here, we will, after this 30-minute period, jump over to our Google Meet session, and I will answer any member questions. But just remember, I know it's the weekend. If something comes up, you do have a question, make sure you send it to support@mkquilts.com, and we will try and get back to you as soon as we can. So the shop is not open on Monday, but we will be there. Well, I guess Melissa's there today, so it is Saturday. So we will be back in the shop on Tuesday. So let's get on with it. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about Pro Stitcher and how the new Pro Stitcher Connect requires Windows updates and how to handle those. All right, so first let's start out by just taking a look at ProStitcher.com here. Okay, we can sign in. All right, then you go to software updates. And under the PS Beta, okay, so if you don't quite follow it, let's just do some basics. PS Connect is the new version of Pro Stitcher. The previous bulk version, major version, was PS Premium, okay? PS Connect enables Wi-Fi cards, enables purchasing patterns out there on the internet, but mainly they lock it down to ProStitcher.com here. But it also enables other things. But up to this point, the current Pro Stitcher Connect release version, but the PS Connect version right now that they've got posted is 703. Now, we've been building tablets up to 703 and turning on the Wi-Fi, letting the operating system build itself up. Could take 2 to 3 hours of loading updates. Then we would shut it down, and then we would reload 537 on it. And that's how we would normally ship things. We're still using Pro Stitcher Premium 537 as our primary version. Okay, the challenge has been there's been a few bugs. There hasn't been enough worth moving forward, and the real point of me originally scheduling this discussion was that even after we've loaded up our tablets, anytime you'd turn them onto the internet, there's a chance that updates would get scheduled and start to load. So our recommendation here, even if you have 537 running and you start having problems with the operating system and you can't, just reloading the software doesn't work, I would simply go back and upgrade it to the latest version of Pro Stitcher Connect, spend the 2 or 3 hours letting things update. Sometimes it takes overnight if it wants to update put a feature version of Windows on there. But the benefit of being on the most current version of Windows when you turn off the internet is you're most likely going to be the most stable and the most secure at that point. And I assume Handy Quilter is testing their software with the latest patches and everything from Windows. So having an updated tablet could fix some of your problems. There is a video out there on our university. We are updating things, but if you go into the university here and you search for downgrade, I believe that's the magic word right now. This has been out here a while, downgrading your tablet to ProStitcher 537. Now it actually tells you and shows you the process of upgrading it to the latest version. I'm not sure which version of ProStitcher Connect was out when I did this, but I would take it to the latest version. Okay, so that is out there for you. If you want to go through it yourself and still run 537, that's great. If you want to have me do this for you, you're talking probably at least 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of overall work on my part, and it would require several days probably, because I do part of it one day, get you up and running so that you're on the network and get the Windows things loading, and then we'd follow up the next day where I'd get back on it and I'm taking you back down to 537 before we turned off the internet. Now there is a new version out, as we are seeing here. If you go to PS Connect beta version, the latest version is 0798, and I believe that will be the next production release. They move over into production. And we are currently testing this, and we'll let you know how it goes. The beta version here may be worth going to, but when you finally go there, you will be forced to deal with the Windows update. So we need to talk a little bit about, why you get Windows updates. And I guess if you look at that downgrading video course that I have out there for free, you'll see that it took me hours then. And even on tablets that we had updated before we ship them out again, we'll go through the process of updating them as well, and then bringing them back down to 537. And this last one took another 2 hours. So it's something that in the long run, it's a good thing. But what my recommendation, if I want to cut to the point, is once we go to PS Connect and you leave the network off, I'd say once every month or two, you're going to want to turn the network on and leave the tablet updating overnight, force an update, and we'll talk about doing that here as well. This is not a full course. I'm just trying to give a good summary and explanation for what's going on with the ProStitcher tablets and these window updates that we're all going to have to face in the future. All right, so this is the latest beta. We're just going to click download the beta. Now I have the option set where if I wanted to change the names and know exactly where it's going into, it pops it up. Otherwise, by default, normally most people's stuff will go into downloads. Since I download a lot into different areas here, this pops up. In most cases, you will just get your file to download up here in your browser. And you can see it downloaded. You can click to open up the file. So this is in my downloads folder, and there's the PS update. All right. The easiest thing to do here is extract all, and we are going to update the ProStitcher on this computer in simulation mode as well, but the process is essentially the same thing for you. I want to show you a few of the interesting differences. All right, so we're going to uncompress this, and there should be 2 files. I told it to put it in a subfolder and let it open another window, but now you see there's 2 files. There is a new pre-install file, which we will run quickly here. Most likely it won't do anything to your personal PC, okay? Now, oh dear, we got a Windows protection thing. Based on your antivirus, and here again, I don't recommend anything more than Windows Defender on your quilting related machines unless you've got kids that use the computers as well. It's not worth the hassle, not worth the overhead, and certainly don't put antivirus on your Pro Stitcher tablet. All right, so I'm going to tell it to run anyways. Going to give it permission, and it's opening on the other screen, but I will pull it over here. All right, so we pulled it over and it's the pre-installer. We're going to start. All right, for most computers that are on the internet already, the software will be installed, the net framework's installed. So I'm not sure what other magic may be happening in their pre-install program, but it has never harmed a personal computer, and it may do things like load Wi-Fi drivers or whatever. I'm not sure. It's Handy Quilter's program, and by the size of it, it probably has some built-in drivers that it's going to install if you don't have your drivers for your tablet already installed. So now we're going to go do the same thing for the latest Pro Stitcher. There we go. I clicked on it once. Now it's in a not responding mode, but don't panic. It usually will come back. Here we go. Okay, that took unusually long. I'm not quite sure why. I do have a lot of stuff running on this computer system right now, and you can tell my resolution on my screens are a little bit bigger, so I'll try and crop and zoom in on things on this screen as we go along. But right now, this repair button is useful if something isn't quite going wrong and right with the program, and you just want to sort of force it to reset things in the background. I haven't had to use that a lot for people right now, so I think the stability of the software has become very good. All right, we're going to say start. Now this new prompt, which by default is turned on, is new to this version. Now I'm familiar with the tech note because older versions, I found some of my customers, the antivirus would start kicking on. This is before even enabling the network. And the background process of checking the logs of Pro Stitcher would basically slow down and cause problems with Pro Stitcher. So we found that if we excluded the Pro Stitcher program directories from being searched by the antivirus, it would eliminate the problem. The challenge is people go, well, what if, doesn't that make me open to antiviruses? Well, however, I'd recommend leaving it on here. The likelihood of it causing any problems is very remote. You'd assume. I don't know. It's just one of those things. So we're going to leave it on. We're going to let it run. So actually, on my other window, a DOS box popped up and a few things flashed about it configuring network items, which is interesting. Now I can just hit close, and I suspect it will bring up Pro Stitcher, and it is bringing it up on the other screen. And I will slide it over here. So it brought up Pro Stitcher with version 0798. Now because we're in simulator mode, I'm hoping this doesn't disable my Wi-Fi. I'll click it. All right, good. They've disabled it. When you're on your tablet, that's how you will enable and disable your Wi-Fi, is through this button here. Now what do I need to do? Well, what you really need to do then on your tablet, once it gets up here and the Wi-Fi gets enabled, and we'll keep that separate, but you hold the button down, the standard Windows thing pops up, you select your network card, say connect, and you will be able to choose your local Wi-Fi to get it on there. So what's going to happen then, let's go to File, Shut Down, Exit to Windows. I don't want it to reboot my computer. I just wanted to make sure I was still recording. All right, we don't need the File Manager windows anymore. We are going to bring up the settings. Let me reduce this. I'll just bring her down here and zoom in on us a little bit. All right, so Windows updates. Now, if you are on a tablet that has not been on the network for many weeks to many months, or have never been on the network, when you check for updates, you're going to get a lot of updates. You're going to let them install, you're going to reboot, and then you're going to hit the button again. And you keep hitting the button until it stops telling you it's got things to update. All right? So security updates come out at least once a week for your Defender antivirus. All right? And it installed it, doesn't need to require a reboot. Out of curiosity, I am going to bring up Windows Defender and take a look at the exclusions. Okay, we'll cut all that out. Okay, if you bring up Windows Security from your system tray, there's another, if you're running Windows 11, there may be a Windows Defender Shield and one called Windows Security. They're just like Handy Quilter changing their versions a little bit and adding features. It looks like Windows is adding the same thing to Windows Defender, but as you can see, you've got all your virus protection and everything else here. If we go to virus protection, I go under Manage Settings, Exclusions. I get a confirmation window over on the left, and you can see that ProStitcher has put in exclusions for its key programs here so that even though they run, they will not be monitored, meaning there will be less processing going on, because every time you start a program, your antivirus is going to usually check it for viruses before it runs. So this is actually a pretty good performance idea here. Hackers would need to replace these software or these particular binaries in such a way that you don't have to worry about it right now. So that's what the exclusions do if you so care. All right, I want to cover the release notes here so you know what do they think they improved with this release, in case you're interested. They correct machine type displaying in the information screen. Okay, that's probably not a huge thing for us. Pause, resume with pull-up functions appropriately. Mark and record function works. That's good. Stitch path and on-screen design path are more precise. Added the ability to clear network cache. I guess they may have run into some situations with networking. And added the Windows exclusions here. The light specific stuff, and we have been loading up the latest version of ProStitcher Connect on all our PS Lite configurations with the MOTT and other machines, because they have had much better performance with the later editions. So one of the first things we did was load them on our MOTT machines. ProStitcher Designer. When transferring workspaces between ProStitcher and Designer, the area transfers smoothly. Okay. Few remaining Known issues: the black boxes between design repeats are missing. Tie-offs on pause and resume: if a design consists of mainly straight lines or few design points, upon resume with tie-offs, the pro stitcher may perform a couple stitches and move back to the last design point to continue quilting. Period. Long sentence. Okay. If necessary, manually execute tie-offs before resuming. All right, Pro Stitcher Lite users, upon initial startup, a purple or gold trace line may appear as you move the machine. To resolve this, reboot the tablet. If cropping a design with open edges, you may receive a tie-off calculation error when Pro Stitcher gets a jump point. If necessary, manually execute tie-offs. It's computers, guys. There will always be issues, but this sounds like it's pretty good. I will let you know. Stay tuned. Stay on our newsletter. Stay on our follow-ups, Melissa's Q&As. We will definitely publish a YouTube video to announce the production release. If it's this version and we find it's good, we will let you know. But my computer nerd standard is, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Okay? If there are some nice new features that Melissa comes across and comments on, yes, you can advance it. And always remember, you can go to our support page, which I will put up here, mkquilts.com. Click button for support. You have references here, and you can book time for me to do the upgrade for you through my scheduling program right here. Now, please, if we're going to do any troubleshooting or looking at things and I need to use a video smartphone with you and you're not as familiar with it, please go through these 3 very short YouTube videos that are linked here, and it will introduce you to the tools so that when we get online, I'm not having to teach you over, because I will be charging people for time going into the rest of the year here, just to keep the dog fed. Okay, so as you can see, nice handsome man here. But definitely check out the self-help here for your issues. And if you do want to upgrade, just plan ahead. And like I said, it might take an hour, hour and a half the first day with you getting it to where I can access it remotely. And I don't think we're going to have time, but maybe I will show you how that works. Okay? So you can watch the videos, but the way I can get remote access to your tablet on your machine is once it's on the internet, meaning you have to upgrade it. You can go to our support site here and you can download the remote support agent. Okay, this is a little deceptive here. Let me pull this out of the way. It's a little deceptive. It looks like it's not downloading, but in fact, if you don't have this option on to rename it or direct it someplace else, when I click save, it will just download up in here. Okay, and now you can just run it from here, or you can go into your downloads folder. Now we're going to go to the downloads folder for a reason. If you take this file and you copy it, let's see if I got a USB here. All right, so I got a couple USBs here. I have no idea what's on them, so we will see. But I'm going to plug it into this computer. All right. It looks like I've got some videos and other thing on here, some PS updates. But what you would basically need to do is, I'm right-clicking. You say copy. There's a copy up here. There's 6 different ways of doing it. And you go down to your USB drive, Click there, and here's the paste. You can right click and paste, and it will copy it to the USB drive. Now, as long as it's finished writing, you shouldn't need to do it, but I would go over here and just say eject, and a little window says, boom, it's gone. You then take it over to your tablet, plug it in, and then you could go over to the, let me plug it back in so it reappears here. You would plug it in, and on some systems it should pop a window. If not, you got to pull up your file manager. But you can, somehow I had one on here. It looks like I got 2 copies. So if you have this utility on your USB key, you can plug it into the tablet and you can run it from the USB key. You get the confirmation, is it okay for me to do it? I got an error because I'm also running Splashtop already on my system, but basically you click it, you run it, it will run an agent, and then you can give me the 9-digit number, which allows me to get onto the tablet. Now here's the other thing, there's nothing stopping you because it doesn't run itself. If you wanted to copy this onto the desktop on the tablet, so that it's there should you ever need service from me. This is not a Handy Quilter endorsed thing. This is what we do to our own customers' tablets, so that if they call up and we sell all around the country, I can get on the tablet and even do the upgrades for them, address any issues, see their screen. So that's sort of something special we do. So using that Splashtop agent, which can be downloaded from our website at any time. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm going to go take some Q&A here as we go live and such, and I hope you are enjoying the weekend or whenever you're watching. Thanks. All right. I am glad I had the opportunity to shave that down a little bit, because there's always issues when you're dealing with computers. Covered a lot of information. I'm hoping you'll have the opportunity to go back and review it. And of course, we do have some supplemental training material like this on our premium membership for the MK Quilts University. So since it is a holiday weekend here, I did not see anything in chat. We had about a dozen people on the call, and I expect more people will take some time over their holiday to view this. I will be watching for comments on YouTube. Like I said, any questions, support at mkquilts.com. So I'm going to jump over and see if there's any members with questions and things. We can talk about a couple things online. My machine owner technician training group is open for anybody, and it is really vital for those of you who don't have a good technician, good retailer in the area, and you need to keep your machine running. And so check it out. Until the next time, which should be no more than 2 weeks from now, everyone, have a great weekend.